Hi, hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Do you hear me clearly?
Oh, very clearly, very clearly. And
Okay.
I appreciate you coming on today. And I noticed one of the first things that we had in common was you have experience with gang stalking.
Yes.
Okay. Now, a lot of people out there who are going through gang stalking become suicidal, especially in the beginning stage, the confusion stage. And you yourself have worked with people in suicide prevention, am I correct?
Yes. For about a year and a half. Yes, they've become very suicidal.
That's so wonderful. Now, can you see how somebody would be suicidal who would be going through gang stalking?
Well, yes, a lot of it, especially through like the whole part of the gaslighting stage, where they're trying to put their reality in at the same time with what's really going on. Um, a lot of the trauma that's behind it. I see a lot of PTSD sometimes in the individual when they call, and it's like their mind is everywhere. They're in the past, they're in the future, they're everything, they're everywhere else except in the present moment, and that's where you're trying to get them back to is the center back to the present because they feel like they can't go to law enforcement. They feel like they can't go to family because their family may be part of it. They feel like they can't go to their closest friends because their closest friends are starting to seem a bit sketchy. So they call somebody that they completely don't know, and even that sometimes they feel like they can't even trust the phone line. So it's like you want to try to get them back to center. They're always in the present. They're always out of the present, in the future, and in the past, and it's just like trauma looping. That's what I call it.
You said trauma moving?
Trauma looping, like
Okay.
the
Looping.
looping.
Okay.
Yeah, trauma looping. Yeah.
Okay, now that is wonderful advice. I'm so glad you told me that because you won't believe how many people contact me suicidal going through gang stalking, and that's one of the things I naturally learned to do is recenter the person's attention on goals they will have and help them to move forward in their goals. But
Yeah.
you really helped me put that into perspective when we were talking before this. We talked the other day, and you were explaining to me if the person has a hobby such as painting or golfing or whatever their hobby may be, something to get their mind off the trauma and to get them back in focus, like with the
Well, I
time.
think so. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh no, no, I was finished. I was finished.
Well, with the trauma, that requires like somebody, I would say get somebody who's licensed to help you with the trauma and how to get through the trauma. But when the person's like feeling suicidal at the moment, you you want to get them present because usually when somebody's reaching out when they're suicidal, they're trying to get the help at that time, and you would want to measure the safety within that level as well. Like if you're talking to somebody and they automatically have, the gun to their chest at the moment, you do want to call intervention at that time. That's a time where it's like literally life or death right there. But majority of the time, from my personal experience, people when they reach out, they really need somebody to pull them back into the present moment and to help them through whatever they're going through at that moment. And there's suicide prevention line that's out there, and I believe every state has a suicide prevention line or an information line that they could call and just speak to somebody about it. Because gang stalking, it's just unfortunate, but people go through it, and it's very hard for an individual. It's like they are completely bordered in, and they feel like they have nowhere else to go to.
Yeah, yeah, the people feel very closed in and they have nowhere to go to. And a lot of people aren't aware of the sophistication of organized stalking. A lot of it gets deeper into the deepest depths of psychological harassment that one can imagine. You're talking about color perception, dealing with neuro-linguistic programming, people being followed, by people wearing red shirts all over the place, and the people are approaching them in a hostile manner. And this really messes up and damages the psyche of an individual. So somebody who would naturally be prone to suicide, when this comes along, this would be like the worst imaginable curse you can. I mean, this is like, this is like the worst thing that can happen to a person already vulnerable to suicide. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, definitely. And that's why I mentioned, like, when you go out and you reach out to people, like the suicide prevention lines or the information lines, even though some of the individuals on that line may not be, technically licensed therapists at the time, but they are somebody that's there present with you to try to help you get through things. And those individuals that you're speaking to could also connect you to resources in your community so you could get the professional help that you need, especially dealing with trauma. There's other types of like cumulative trauma or other trauma that's out there. Now, I'm not a licensed counselor or therapist, but I am specifically trained in suicide prevention, and I would be an individual that would connect you to resources in your community.
Most definitely, most definitely. So, if somebody was to contact me and say that they feel that the gang stalking has gotten the upper hand on them and they're feeling really suicidal, possibly you might even be up for maybe we can get them on three-way together and help them. Maybe they say, well, the woman in the interview, I really like the way she was talking, Jamil. Perhaps is it possible that we could get together on three-way or something? Plus you going through gang stalking would make a whole world of difference to the people.
Yeah, that's an option. That could work out. Also, there are other options too that is immediate. With the suicide prevention line, I would say you could Google the suicide prevention line, save it in your phone if you know you're a victim of gang stalking, and that's an automatic 24 hours a day, 7 days a week thing. Also, like your local 211, you could dial 211. Some areas are connected there, and it's like stuff like that that could help immediately.
Okay. Now that's wonderful advice. And I'm gonna if you have anything left you want to add to the interview, I think we pretty much covered everything. Did you want to add anything?
Well, I definitely don't want to say too much on the psychological terms because I'm not a licensed therapist, but I'm fully aware that there is trauma behind a lot of the gang stalking, and it does take a toll on a lot of people. It's really good to get some professional help if you can.
Yeah, you're right. And one of the biggest problems that people are finding is they can't really get any help. They're going. A lot of people are going to counselors and therapists, thinking that they're going to be able to tell people how they're being stalked, and the people are telling them that sometimes they're even being told that they're paranoid.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest problems that's happened is people are literally walking the streets being viciously stalked every single day, and when they do try to receive help, they're being told that there's something wrong with them.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part as well. There's not a lot of education on or awareness on gang stalking. It kind of flies over people's heads sometimes.
Yeah. And so that's why I commend you on this interview. You're helping to provide education, and that's what I've been doing with these educational courses is opening up the door for people to receive further insight. But we'll make sure that, we'll put a link up for the people or put something there so if they do feel like committing suicide, they know that there's 24-hour hotlines available for them. And then if somebody wants to talk specifically about their relationship to being gang stalked and feeling suicidal, they know they can contact me, and I'll just leave that door open, and hopefully, me and you can do this again at another point.
Okay, yeah, of course. Definitely.
Okay, so I'm gonna close this off.
All right, well, thank you.